Well,
Okay, no, ma'am.
do you realize how many houses here people have had to walk away from?
No, I
People in the hideout, people around here have lost their houses. I'm not kidding you, every 4 houses
Okay,
around.
I don't want to belabor this. I
You
just
don't
wanted
want
to
to
make
hear
the
it,
point.
I know.
No,
They were
no,
very
I've heard it.
responsible, they
You-
cut
you
their
made your
budget.
point.
Now, why don't you people
You
cut
have
your
made
budgets?
your point, and I heard your point.
I have a
I
question.
just wanted to point
One
out
last
that-
thing, one last question, go ahead.
How many teachers have you cut in the last 10 years? In the last 5 years, whatever you know?
33 last time I checked.
33 in the last,
Positions were not rehired
in the last how long?
since 2012.
2012 in a district that's a fraction of their size? So they've cut as many teachers, more teachers than
Then our
them.
taxes should come down. If they have 30-some odd teachers less,
Well,
and
I guess you could say your taxes didn't go up as much.
mine
That's
went
what-
up.
yeah,
Mine
as much.
tripled in the
All right.
last
That's
7
a-
years.
I-
That's a lot.
We need to cut the public discussion, we need to bring that to a close so we can move on in the agenda. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. May I have a motion for item number 12, please?
I recommend that the Board of Education adopt the 2016-17 fiscal year final budget, showing estimated available resources of $46,887,133 and estimated expenditures and ending fund balance in the amount of $46,887,133. Establishing real estate tax millage of 16.7024 with a 2% discount if the whole amount of the tax is paid within 2 months after the date of the tax notice. Payment at face if the tax is paid within 2 months following the end of the discount period. Penalty of 10% on all taxes not paid within 4 months after the date of the tax notice.
I'll second. Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any questions or comments?
I have a few comments.
Go ahead.
I'd like to dovetail off of what Mrs. Erman was saying and also what Mr. Adams was saying, and that is we are providing a premium education here at Western Wayne. But what we're doing is we're educating these kids so well that they grow up and move out. They move out of the area. They're not sticking around here, so that means that we're leaving, they're leaving the area and the economy here is dying with nothing fresh to replenish it. That's going to become more of a problem as time goes on. Spending more obviously isn't going to help it here because all we're doing is taxing more people who are left. And these people that are left are living a meager lifestyle, but yet they're content. I know I live a meager lifestyle, but yet I am content. And we seem to have to keep paying for people who aren't content. And I don't mean that in any kind of insulting manner. It's just that when salaries go up, which we did pay out a lot this year in salary increases, I'm sure that a lot of people who are living here meagerly in their lifestyle have not had salary increases. So I can understand your frustration. And I'm against what we're about to do tonight here, and I just wanted to let you know that.
Yes, our incomes aren't in sync with what you people are asking. You're wanting increases, but we're not getting increases, and that's not fair to people.
Thank you, Mr. Schaefer. Does anyone else have any comments from the board?
Yeah, I have,
Go ahead, Mr. Cadenza.
I have a diatribe. It's a systemic failure. It's going to continue to be a systemic failure. Education is going to go off the cliff. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You see in local school districts, they're cutting art programs in Wilkes-Barre, cutting kindergarten in Crestwood. It's because, as you already stated, and we've already beat that bag to death almost, but we can't afford it. That's the bottom line. We just can't afford it. There's problems with, as you said, the median income of an area supporting high-paying salaries. There's a problem with those median income taxpayers paying for health care for employees in this school district that do not contribute to their health care premiums. There is a problem when you have employees that put 7% of their annual salary into a retirement system of $65 billion in underfunded liability. I mean, it's a local problem, it's a state problem, it's a federal problem. It's just a problem. And nothing changes if it doesn't change, you know what I mean? Like, so, my point being is, we can cut programming, which cuts teachers, which cuts salaries, which saves money. You charge them to pay for their health care, which would be hundreds of thousands of dollars in savings over the life of the contract. That's an alternative. That is a solution, part of the solution to a bigger problem. But again, I'm not gonna sit here and vote to raise taxes on people in this area to, as I stated last Monday, protect a special interest. I'm not going to do it. I won't do it ever. Doesn't matter what my last name is, doesn't matter what my family did prior to this. I will not bend and I will not break when it comes to selling people down the river to continuously support a lifestyle, which you can utilize the analogy lifestyle, but we can't afford to spend $42 million this year. We couldn't afford to spend whatever the figure was last year, 39 million or 40 million, or the amount of money is irrelevant, because each year it goes up, because healthcare goes up and salaries go up. But you know what the bottom line is? That it's wrong. We need complete and utter reform when it comes to how we support the school system, because property taxes are archaic, and as Mr. Adams said on Monday, it does not hit inflation. We are literally walking down a windy road, and we're all gonna fall off the cliff together. We are. No matter if you're a board director, a taxpayer, a child, an employee, or whatever. The system is completely in shambles. It's tarnished, it sucks. And you know what? As long as politicians continue to have the same retirement system, a special interest, whether they be elected judges, politicians who sell you down the river, wave their hands at you, blow you kisses, and then they give it to you in the backroom deals in Harrisburg, it's completely unacceptable. I will not vote yes on a budget that raises taxes on the people of the Western Wayne School District.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cadenzi. Anyone else? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Emmett, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Olsemer,
Yes?
Mr. Gershi,
Yes.
Mr. Gogalski,
Yes.
Mr. Enslin, Mrs. Fiorella,
Yes.
Mr. Cadenzi,
No.
Mr. Hope,
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer.
No.
You have 5 yes votes. Motion carries.
Motion carries 5-3. May I have a motion for item number 13, please?
I recommend that the Board of Education adopt as final, the real estate tax rate of 16.7024 with a 2% discount if the whole amount of tax is paid within 2 months after the date of the notice. Payment at face if the tax is paid within 2 months following the end of the discount period. Penalty of 10% on all taxes not paid within 4 months after the date of the tax notice, with the taxes to be paid to the tax collectors by 12/31/16.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any questions or comments?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Who sets the penalty? Is it us, the board?
Are you doing that now?
We said.
So, I didn't know if it was just something that was handed to us by the county. Can we alter that penalty to a different rate?
10 is the maximum.
Right, I'm not looking to go max.
For people who don't pay their taxes and the people that do pay their taxes have to subsidize them. That was that's been brought out by other board members who aren't here that they would like that to be more. But 10% has been the number for the delinquent taxes for as long as I can remember.
Joe, do you have the number on what was the rate of people who didn't pay their taxes and how long it took them or the penalty? What was that roughly?
Last year, we had the highest tax collection rate ever.
Yeah.
It was nearly 101% of the current levy, and that was because people who hadn't paid their taxes in prior 3 years recovered at a faster pace and paid their tax bill plus the 10% penalty at a faster rate. So last year and this current year were both over 100% of the current total levied number. It has been as low as 99. We had budgeted 99 to 99.5. But last 2 years, the taxpayers who were delinquent caught up at a faster pace.
Isn't it true that 90%, probably 80 to 90% of the taxes are paid by the banks through an escrow? So you're not going to be delinquent. The bank's not going to see it go delinquent and sold off and under them.
If you don't.
You're a banker,
If
Yeah,
you don't pay, the bank doesn't pay.
Yeah, if you don't pay your mortgage,
the
the
bank
bank
will
doesn't pay.
cover it before they see it go sold to Pumpkin Coffee.
Which takes 3 years.
Still they'll pay.
They take,
Which will
But then
the
all
bank that I work
comes,
for
so
wouldn't after 3
It's worth
years.
it when you pay it back.
Give a 10% if you pay early.
Yeah, the banks that I work for chose not to pay. And I don't know, the 80%, and the number is 80% of the properties that have mortgages on them. All those properties that don't have any mortgages on them, which, you know, again, I don't know what that exact number is, but there are a large number of parcels that don't have mortgages, that don't have escrows. Only the properties that have debt have escrow accounts.
Mr.
Do
Schaefer?
you realize that
What-
people
what
can't
percent?
afford the tax, that's why they're delinquent, because they don't have the money? So then you punish them even more. I myself am one of those people, so I'm always behind. So you just keep burying people with 10%.
You don't pay the 1 year, you're still gonna end up paying the 10% assessment.
I mean, you have to have some kind of human compassion, you
Not
can't keep
have a
beating
little bit of
people.
compassion this year and change that number, but if I miss my chance, I miss my chance.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded, followed by questions. All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no.
No,
No,
Okay. Motion carries on a vote of 6-2. May I have a motion for item number 14, please?
I recommend that the Board of Education adopt as a final the tax resolutions establishing the 2015-16 Act 511 real estate transfer tax at a rate of 1/2 of 1%.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no.
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 Are there any abstaining? Motion carries on a vote of 6-2. May I have a motion for item number 15, please?
I move that the Board of Education approve the attached homestead farmstead resolution, which is attachment 3.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any questions or comments?
I have a comment. This is another piece of the hypocritical puzzle from Harrisburg. Part A in this resolution is your gambling tax funds. You know, they promised Act 1 was going to be property tax relief, and it worked for, I don't know, shudder of an eyelash, and then it went down to the final part of Act 1 where the money gets siphoned off in 150 different directions. And then we're left with $876,000 in property tax relief. Now, if you're to take all that gambling money that they taxed throughout all the years, now including the fact that they even more modernized gambling and gaming here in Pennsylvania just, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, this number could substantially help our taxpayers here. So I find it, again, disgusting, absolutely disgusting, how the Pennsylvania Department of Education continues their nonsense with, you know, that big bureaucracy. But the whole thing with the gambling with Act 1 is just, it's completely asinine how Rendell and his cronies sold us that they were going to relieve property taxes, just like every year. Governor Wolf said, oh, we're going to give you property tax relief. We got squat. They gave us property tax relief, but they didn't give us enough. So ultimately, I'm voting no on this because the taxpayers of this district and of this Commonwealth are not getting the lion's share of what they were promised or what they deserve.
Thank you, Mr. Gadensky. Are there any other comments from the board? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
Are there any abstaining? Motion carries. May I have a motion for item number 16, please?
I recommend that the Board of Education consider the adoption of the following policies, which is the second reading. A is 103, non-discrimination in schools and classroom practices. B, policy 246, student wellness. C, policy 626.1, travel reimbursement federal program. And D, policy number 827, conflict of interest.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Are there any abstaining? Motion carries. May I have a motion for item number 17, please?
I recommend the Board of Education authorize the board treasurer and business manager to review purchases ordered and bills payable for the end of this fiscal year and approve the payment of 2015-2016 purchases, orders or contracts which are in order and ready for payment. Bills processed under this authorization will be reported to the Board of Education at the August board meeting.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no.
No.
Are there any abstaining? Motion carries on a vote of 7-1. May I have a motion for item number 18, please?
I recommend that the Board of Education authorize the board treasurer and business manager to approve payment of the July 2016 general fund accounts payable and payroll with report to the Board of Education at the August board meeting.
Seconded.
Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
Are there any abstaining? Motion carries 7-1. Item number 19, may I have a motion, please?
I recommend that the Board of Education approve the recommendation of the business manager to designate a portion of our ending 2015-16 fund balance, if necessary, to manage future budgets as per governmental accounting standards board statement number 54, GASB 54. Amount to be determined based on final adjusted balances as reflected in our annual financial report.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any questions or comments?
This is a requirement of the state of Pennsylvania, correct?
National Governmental Accounting Standards Board, it's federal.
And that's how old is it, Rose? 2 or 3 years old?
This one is.
Yeah, 2012, I want to
Yeah,
say.
11, 12 school year.
Thank you.
And that's just to designate restricted and unrestricted fund balance as part of GASP.
Are there any other comments? Hearing none. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
Are there any abstaining? Motion carries. May I have a motion for item number 17, please?
17 we did already.
Or, sorry, 20, please.
I recommend that the Board of Education approve a renewal agreement between the Western Wayne School District and the U.S. Employees Benefits Service Group to provide full ACA consulting and reporting services at an ongoing monthly cost of $1.05 per employee per month, effective October 1, 2016 through September 30th, 2017.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any questions or comments?
This is new because of the ACA, correct, Rose?
Yes, this would be our second year of the contract, which is for 15-16.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
Are there any abstaining? Motion carries. May I have a motion for item number 21, please?
I move that the Board of Education approve the transportation contract for the extended school year program, summer 2016, for the following contractors contingent upon enrollment at state formula: T. Estrada, Van 39, Waymark to Evergreen, June 20th, 22nd, 27th, and 29th, 2016. Joanne Butler, Van 38, Waymark to Honesdale, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, May 27th, 2016, to June 6th, 2016. And ESY The Hideout to Honesdale, Monday through Friday, June 20th, 2016, to August 12th, 2016.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Are there any questions or comments?
I just want to point out that's early intervention in special education, special needs children. That's not regular ed. That's why it's a shared service at Honesdale for special education services. And we do have early intervention requirements that we don't have any 15-day period that we don't have early intervention classrooms. So that's not regular ed. Those are early intervention and special education students.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. Are there any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Are there any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously.
I'd like to make a motion to strike 22 for tonight and table it so we can continue a conversation about it. I don't believe there's been enough conversation on whether we should be adding to the curriculum at this point, or raising taxes. I know that this isn't going to cost us at this moment because we won't have to add a teacher, but I don't believe that there has been enough discussion on this right now, and I'd like to see if we can table it for at least another month or two.
So if you were making a motion
Yes.
to table this. Is there a second to that motion?
Can you explain what it is?
Are you asking me or the board?
AP Computer Science.
Yeah.
So it's basically a class with the computers, computer programming, hardware, algorithms, web applications, and that's pretty much right from the course description.
I've looked over some of the prerequisites, and it says that they want the students to have basic English and algebra, but then they give examples of what kind of algebra that they're going to be looking for in it, and you know, it says f of x is a composite function of g of x of h of x, so that's not a basic algebra course that you're going to be learning about composite functions. That's an Algebra 2 trade course, and I mean, how many of these kids are going to possibly not have those prerequisites when they're taking this? I mean, do we have a prerequisite in place as a policy? I don't see anything on the agenda that says that. In the course description, I asked you for a course description. You sent me the link to the one provided by, I believe, I don't remember the website's actual
That's the
website.
website.
Yeah.
That's right from there.
Okay, so we're just going to follow their course prerequisite.
Yes, you have to write the audit according to their specifications.
Okay. Long before I was a local lumberjack, I did study computer science at New York Institute of Technology, all right? And I can't go along with this particular course, not because it's fantastic, but looking over some of the other computer programming courses, I don't see us getting the actual information that we need in order to be successful in this class. And that's why I would like to continue the conversation, at least for another month.
We also have to consider the fact that if students want to take the course, they need time to register and go to the schedule.
Fair enough. Have you done a survey on how many would be interested in this class?
Have you done a survey? I would have to ask Mr. Licky for those numbers. He's the one who would do that.
We haven't offered it yet, have we?
That's right, of course, we're voting on it tonight, but I mean, why are we adding a course if we don't know if there's an interest in the course?
Well, it's to provide an opportunity for students. And if there's a limited number of students, we don't run the course for that
Okay.
semester. So the more interest we have, will dictate whether or not the course actually runs for that.
I really would like to see if we could have more of a conversation about this.
All right, you've made a motion. Is there a second to this motion?
I'll second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. We've had discussion. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
All right. For the noes,